Good morning and welcome to the Associated Guest. I am, of course, Alfie Animus here at the Baron Mind channel. All right, today I'm exhausted from the news. Originally, when I started doing this, I wanted to mostly do fun and entertaining stuff, gaming, but there hadn't been any substantial movies or anything like that. Gaming, there's been a few rabbit holes here and there with the Nintendo story, but it's all negative. And I didn't get to post on my gaming channel this week because I wasn't feeling the best. But I do find Nux Taku here very entertaining and the Candace Owens situation fascinating, mostly because I've followed her career myself for quite a while. Because she's a grifter. And I know that word gets tossed around a whole lot, but it actually applies with this one. She is dishonest, and while, like most people in the sphere who are genuinely awful, they get a lot of fans based off one or 2 points that they've made. You see this a lot with Fresh and Fit. They'll put out videos of them at their best, and then for the whole rest of the time, they're pretty much like the Whatever podcast. They're just talking shit to people and being disingenuous and not living up to their own standards. And, yeah. But anyway, we continue down the Candace Owens rabbit hole today, and that's pretty much going to be the show today. I might scroll through a bit of Twitter, but Twitter's been not really quiet, but it's been less interesting over the last 12 to 16 hours. So let's continue with Nux's second video directly associated with Candace Owens.
Hebrews and Shebrews, I am currently traveling, and I am on
like
somewhat of a vacation
Hebrews
visiting
and
family.
Shebrews.
But you know, I gotta keep the homies fed, gotta keep the people not hungry. Today we are making more drama with more people. Hell yeah, let's go. Lock in, boys and girls. It's a crazy rabbit hole we're going down today. We are going down the Candace Owens thinks the Jews are controlling everything rabbit hole, and it's gonna be incredibly fun. So, this here is Candace Owens. She is one of the biggest political commentators in the world.
I love that he said, I haven't watched this in a very long time, but, you know, the term rabbit hole's fairly widely used, so.
World right now. She is, on the right. I would call her woke right, personally. You know,
No,
woke
absolutely.
right
She's
is
part
when
of the
you blame everything
horseshoe
in history
theory.
on the Jews. Now, I do think there are some things that you can absolutely blame on the Jews. I know, this is a hot take. In fact, I even think you could be critical of Israel and not being an anti-Semite. I know this is a hot take these days.
It is 100% though, and a lot of people, especially on the right, need to realize that you can, in fact, disagree with things that Israel does, or Netanyahu specifically, and not hate all Israelis or all Jews. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Netanyahu. I support them more or less over some of the other people that they are adversarial with, but let's continue.
But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Insane Drama, because woke right, that is when you blame everything on the Jews, all right? I previously
Pretty
did
much.
a content nuke on Candace Owens, going into details if you want more info. In that video, I showed clips where she blamed the Jews for inventing dinosaurs, putting them in the ground
Yes.
to trick Christians into thinking that the earth wasn't created by God. Okay? She blamed dinosaurs
And also,
on the
let's
Jews.
not forget
When
that
I
space
saw
is
that clip,
fake
I
and
was
gay,
like, all right,
according
bro.
to Candace Owens.
All right, bro. I think she's missing something here. So when I saw that, I started going a little deeper, and then of course she blames the Jews on everything else in history. Also, she blames communism on the Jews. She blames the Holocaust on the Jews somehow. She's pretty cool like that. Anyway, definitely lock in, because she now blames the Jews for running the White House, and also says that RFK Jr., you know, the Make America Healthy Again guy, for being blackmailed by the Jews as well. Now, there's no evidence to any of this, which makes it even funnier. Oh, and she also says that the Jews killed JFK. So since the Kennedy assassination files came out,
yes,
I feel like we
the
should definitely look into
Jews.
that rabbit hole as well. I can't believe the Jews would put tariffs on Israel. I can't believe the Jews got Trump to put tariffs on Israel. That was such a crazy twist. So, anyway, Lock in, everyone. We're going on a big rabbit hole today, and I'm gonna love it very much. Candace Owens
I can't
is,
wait.
I would
This
go as
this
far
will
as
be a
to say,
two-parter, by the way.
100% right now. So this is gonna be very cathartic, very fun. If you hate me just because I'm going against someone you like, that's valid. We are an equal opportunity.
And let's just say this. It's not valid. Like, I understand why people like Candace Owens, because, again, most people who are into this kind of thing are only passively into it and have only seen a few clips of Candace Owens at her best. And at her best, especially the Charlie Kirk days when she worked with him at Turning Point, except when she was pregnant because she was unwieldy and awful. But she has had high moments, and then she started hanging out with Kanye. I won't call him Ye. That's the dumbest name ever. Yay! And then she had a few, I think a bright spot or two when she worked the Daily Wire, and then she just went, whoa, just crazy off the deep end after that. But let's continue.
Opportunity, equal opportunist. Detection.
And the reason I'm going to start stopping the video more often, just letting y'all know, I've had not copyright strikes, but I've had notices that my videos have been taken off. So as a matter of fact, my show from 2 days ago is down for a few hours while it's going through the editing process. I had to snip here and there. But thankfully, YouTube makes it easy. But it was my show on Jimmy Kimmel, and I wasn't about to fight that because they will win. I'm far too small to make any leeway with that. As much as YouTube's lightened up recently, kind of, I don't risk it.
System over here. If there are reasons to detect, we will find them, and we will make fun of them. That's what we do. Now, there are a lot more reasons on the left these days, but that doesn't mean there are a couple of right-wing reasons out there, too. So, this was a bit of a viral clip from one of her recent videos. Now you see why I record while I'm on vacation. It's way too fun. I go, I visit family, I'm like, hold up, detected, and there we go. So anyway, lock in, boys and girl. This is a tape that went viral.
Like, it's because this is not helpful to Jews in America. It's for Israel. Like, it feels like Netanyahu is running the White House, and Trump's just signing and doing whatever they say. Right?
Retarded take.
It feels like Netanyahu should be sitting in the Oval Office.
Yeah, that's one of the takes of all time. Now, This is the little 12-second clip that went wildly viral. Again, I don't even hate Candace Owens. I just think she completely fell off the deep end on this one specifically.
Well, I agree with that. Look, hatred of these people isn't worth your time. Hatred just makes your soul into shit. But I don't know. This is one of those takes that just kind of hit me, especially I think since this, Trump's thrown some tariffs on Israel, which were more than you would expect for someone who's such a close ally, quote unquote, of ours. But let's continue.
But yeah, so she cooks. Yeah, Israel controls the government, and Jews control the world.
Oh, of course.
Netanyahu should be the president. Now, remember when Trump put tariffs on Israel, even though Israel dropped their tariffs? And Netanyahu was obviously incredibly butthurt that happened. That's just a classic case of the Jews tricking the people by thinking that they're not controlling the world by tariffing themselves.
Shifty,
I know.
like Cartman says.
It's crazy, dude. So this guy's like, Netanyahu is running the White House. I used to love Candace Owens, but her hatred of Jews made her unwatchable. It's kind of wild. And the first response is, are you Jewish? Like, only Jewish people are allowed to be upset that she's blaming everything in history on the Jews. Now, I am going to bring you down the wildest rabbit hole.
And again, let's not forget that since this, even Nick Fuentes has been like, geez, Candace, ease up on the Jews already. And he's a white supremacist.
Probably of your life. So it all starts
like an actual white
with
supremacist,
this.
not
Candace
just
Owens
one of
has
those,
started a new
oh,
series
I disagree with him, he's a
where
white
she
supremacist.
blames everything, well, not just on the Jews, but specifically RFK Jr. must be getting blackmailed by the Jews. He is the guy that Trump put in charge of health in America.
And it is us telling you the truth, okay?
Did they steal his voice? And that's why he talks like that?
Okay.
He talks like... I'm done, sorry.
The more you hang out in these circles, the more...
And she always tells you, it's the truth, because I said it's the truth. There might not be evidence, but it's true, it's the truth.
You learn which individuals there seems to be blackmail on, and RFK Jr. is one of them. They have sexual blackmail on RFK Jr.
They is the Jews. the wildest part is there's no evidence. There's zero evidence. She's made 6 videos on this. 6 videos about how Jews have sexual blackmail on RFK Jr., man. And not one bit of evidence in all 6 of those videos.
That was told
I mean, it's not like he'd be the first sexual deviant of the Kennedy family. Come on, like, give the man a break.
to people in my circle, and
Oh, her circle. Her circle. Conspiracy. Andrew Tate is in her circle. Yes.
Jessica Reed Krause knows that. Okay, this is not something that I would say unless I was certain of this.
Oh, she's certain of it. Not something she'd say.
What they were fearful of coming out about him, something that would be extremely embarrassing. And
Yeah. Oh, damn, that's a good screenshot face. Yeah, no, it's extremely embarrassing. He's obviously being blackmailed. They're sexual blackmail. They have sexual blackmail on RFK Jr. based on what was told to her circle, meaning someone anonymous sent her a DM. There is no way anyone could do that just to mess with her, right? Now, this is definitely a wild ride for sure.
And again, this is why accountability is so important. Like, this is the main reason I respect Steven Crowder. Love him or hate him, if you think the guy's jokes are cringe or not, he is very well sourced, and all of his sources that are on his page are legit, and most of them are liberal or leftist sources for the most part.
I personally love it. She defending Andrew Tate
fully
for me was the
accredited.
red flag that made me start looking into her. Like, she's a Christian, hardcore Christian girl, which is very respectable. But she is out there running defense for a self-described pimp, probably rapist.
Yeah, sure thing, man.
Again,
If
I'm not getting into any of that specifically, but
I'll jump on it
bro,
after this.
I covered the details on my entire opinion about her on the actual content nuke on Candace Owens.
Thanks for the engagement.
But bro, it gets wilder. So this is Ian Carroll. He is another character in the giant Candace Owens collaboration drama rabbit hole. So
Ian
this is her
Carroll.
channel, right? This is Candace Owens' channel. If you look at her videos, RFK Jr. exposed, all right, because they're compromised.
And look at this. As unhinged as she can be, look at how many views she gets. That is... my dumb ass is scrolling like this is my page. Can you tell I'm getting old? But anyway, let's continue.
All right, we have RFK Jr. and the pesky CIA rumors. We have who is controlling RFK Jr. Half of her content over the last 2 months has been RFK Jr. is being controlled and manipulated, and everyone's controlling RFK Jr. Now, this Ian Carroll character, you will know him.
She
because
makes
he
Glenn
recently
Beck
did
seem
a big collab with Candace
rational and
Owens. He was
reasonable.
also recently on Joe Rogan. He's a big conspiracy theorist, guys, and
And I say that look, I haven't paid any attention to Glenn Beck since he started the Blaze, so don't at me. But from what I know of him from back when he was writing books like Common Sense and when he was on Fox News, he was a bit. I mean, they parodied him on South Park pretty accurately. For
I'm
those
not
of you curious.
against conspiracy theorists. I think it's important to ask all sorts of questions. But he made this post on Twitter, March 29th, which is over 2 weeks ago, in case any of you are keeping track. This has 11 million views. All right, this is a massive fucking video. Breaking. The RFK Jr. blackmail story is breaking from multiple angles right now. It's bad, even worse than I say
How
in this
much do you
video.
get for 11
Blackmailed
million
by
views on
certain
X?
people. It's the Jews. At the highest level of American politics right now in 2025. Buckle up,
wow.
it's about to get weird. So lock in.
He made a solid $75 to $100 on this post. Yeah, you don't get paid much on X.
Buckle up, guys. Are you ready to see all sorts of unbelievable amounts of evidence? Get ready for crazy evidence. Spoilers, there's no evidence.
So the Bobby Kennedy blackmail story is currently breaking.
It's not breaking. There is no story.
It's broken because there's nothing behind it, just so you know.
In many directions, all across the internet.
All across the internet. Meaning this guy and Candace Owens. It
Yeah,
is not breaking.
literally.
There is no break. In fact, you know, I'll just show you how breaking this story is. So I asked the AI, is there any hard evidence, audio or documents to RFK Jr. blackmail operation, or is it only baseless speculation? There is no hard evidence, such as any of this or any of that. it's all speculative. Is there any evidence at all? No credible evidence. No verifiable audio documents. First-hand accounts even. There isn't even testimony. There isn't even testimony, bro.
You see what I'm saying? Candace Owens
Come
is...
on, man.
And American politics is not going to be the same after this weekend.
All right, so his claim is American politics is changing specifically after this weekend. Now, remember, this weekend was more than 2 weeks ago. I don't know if any of you are aware, but nothing did change. Nothing did come out. It was revealed to him in a dream that RFK Jr. Again, I'm not even saying this is not true. Maybe it is true, but there's no evidence at all. The fact that he says that everything is going to change after this weekend and literally nothing changed after that weekend, I wanted to wait to see if something would come out. I was there when he posted this video. It got 11 million views. Everyone was saying, holy shit, this is crazy. And he said, after this weekend, everything's going to change. And I waited. And I gave him another week. And I gave him another week. And they kept hammering on this conspiracy. Anyway.
That's not hyperbole. This is not just a hook.
It's completely
Yeah, well,
hyperbole.
it was hyperbole, I guess. Or a lie.
Don't really know where to start. But this is the
because
kind
it's
of
fake.
story that I've gotten enough calls from enough people tonight, and there's enough going on that I feel like we need to make a video right now to
He surrounds
keep
himself
some
with
people safe.
alcoholic
And
liars.
that is the angle he goes. The reason why he is exposing this entire operation is because otherwise the Jews will kill them. That's right. I
true.
know. It's
Of course.
crazy. He's got to put evidence out there before the Jews kill all the people involved. I'm not even joking. It gets crazier and crazier the deeper you go. And it sounds good on the surface level until you start like trying to put it together.
Does it, though?
And see if there actually is any evidence there. I'm not going to show you. There are 4 hours of Candace Owens content on this one point, and there isn't an actual bit of evidence. It's like the evidence is all, so RFK Jr. was friends with a guy whose son married a lady that used to be in the CIA. That is literally the evidence that she gives.
And to get as much as we all know out on the internet right now so that everyone can be safe.
All
And
right,
the best
everyone needs to be safe.
place for everyone to start is at Candace's video that she put up today, that she very aptly titled One Nation Under Blackmail. Go
It's the Jews.
watch it. She does a way better job of explaining a bunch of what's going on than I
No,
could. But
She just sounds more convincing because she's used to lying at this point.
as soon as I was like 10 minutes into it, and then I started getting phone calls from sources telling me more information that is corroborating and taking it even further than what is exposed in that video.
All right, so basically, he got phone calls saying, holy shit, it's happening.
And I have sources telling me that there are people in like media and around Bobby that know about this and know it's coming and are trying to protect him and save him from this. But it is
Dude.
past that, and there is no saving.
Yeah, this isn't fear-mongering at all. There are people around him trying to protect him and save him, but it's past that. He's so over. It's done. He's cooked. Nothing happened. No, nothing happened. This was posted 2 weeks ago, and the world was supposed to change.
Anyone from this, I think, and we just have to deal with what's about to happen.
Right.
So I'm going to leave all of that
What's about to happen, and then nothing happens.
out,
Yeah.
and we're going to start the story here.
And just so
All
you know,
right.
it's been
with
6
our
months
girl
since this
Jessica,
video, and still
Allison
nothing's happened.
Habit. She had tasked one of
This is how the video...
Okay, hold on. Pause. We interrupt this for a special news bulletin that I actually got yesterday. Yeah, there's this. So we all remember how Trump and RFK came out and said that acetaminophen, and because he can't pronounce it, he said Tylenol, may be linked to autism developing. Well, if a woman takes it while she's pregnant, it may make sure that be linked to that kid possibly developing autism. Possibly. But again, why they put this out themselves and didn't have anyone with any scientific background put this out so they can word it properly and properly cite the study, I'll never know. But TikTokers, as you know, took to TikTok as they do and videotaped themselves eating gobs and gobs of Tylenol to where this happened. A pregnant woman is dying in the hospital of liver failure. Prove Trump wrong prove Trump wrong about Tylenol causing autism. So Tylenol overdose. Whoever wrote this, dumpster fire extinguisher. That explains it because this Either that or I'm reading it wrong. Tell me in the comments. She has no hope of survival. Her husband is there watching his wife and child die because his wife thought Orange Man bad. Well, I don't agree with the phrasing of that. Well, I mean, I really do. This has got to stop. Anyone who you wake up, and I don't care if you're for or against Trump, if you wake up in the morning and you can't function until you figure out what his opinion on something is, or he says something and you 100% agree with it, or you 100% disagree with it, you are a retard. And this is why.
I got a call, a very frantic call at 4 o'clock in the morning from a husband whose wife is now dying of liver failure on a ventilator in an ICU because she was trying to prove that Tylenol doesn't cause autism because of what Trump said on the news. Mind you, that's a Harvard study. Now, whether or not you believe the Harvard study or not is not the issue here.
Or if you've actually read it and it's not necessarily it's not conclusive. They said they need more data or some such. But yeah. The
issue is that she's somewhere between 23 to 25 weeks and she overdosed on Tylenol. And she's going to die. Let me tell you something about Tylenol overdosing and death. Is that if you aren't administered the antidote, it is a very slow and painful death. Now people are just taking massive amounts of Tylenol to prove Trump wrong. I mean, weren't these the same people who put Harvard and Fauci and the pillars of science on a pedestal?
Well,
and
yeah,
now they
but
refuse to believe it. But maybe these crazy liberal women, they like literally hate Trump so bad that she killed herself and her baby potentially.
And this is horribly sad, and I don't know if this is factually true. I haven't been able to find anything else on it other than a few more things linking to things referencing this particular video or anything like that. But just know, have an opinion for yourself, for the love of God. Look, especially, again, I agree, Trump shouldn't have put out the video himself. He shouldn't. I know he loves to talk, but he shouldn't have done the press conference himself. He should have given it to the hands of maybe someone who was involved in the study, or maybe, well, not RFK because he's hard to listen to, but someone directly involved in the health administration, or a scientist, or anyone who knows how to pronounce acetaminophen. But I'm sorry, it was so funny watching him, and I did the same thing. It was like Finding Nemo, an anemone. But anyway, we continue with Candace Owens.
Videos go. It's like connecting people to people to people to people that might have connections with other people, but it doesn't actually prove anything.
For writers, Emily Hagan, with writing a hit piece about Candace Owens. They were trying to create or dig up some dirt on Candace's husband for some reason to take her down.
For some reason. Candace's husband is a long-standing friend of self-proclaimed pimped and probably sex trafficker Andrew Tate. I wonder why someone would want to write an actual piece about that guy. Big shock that Candace Owens' husband, who's, by the way, the friend of one of the most notorious alleged criminals on the planet right now, might be looked into. Kind of weird.
For reasons we'll kind of get to in a second.
Right.
Emily submitted
They're trying to take down Candace Owens because she has too much truth to share about Jews, probably.
Draft, kind of, and they...
God, I would love if people could blame shit on Jews and actually have evidence. Remember those days? Remember those days?
There were days
There's
where they
definitely
blamed it
some
on
bad
Jews and there was
out
evidence?
I ain't denying it. There's bad
was
people
this?
in every group.
I don't
but
remember
like,
that.
come on, man.
Jessica, House and Habit,
Right.
was having her girl, I believe, Olivia Nuzzi, read through it, and it was like, we can't publish that. It's too 4chan-y. House and Habit clarified that it needs to be a clean shot. A clean shot to take down Candace Owens. Good fucking luck with that.
Bro, these are just journalists talking about this shit.
If you don't remember
Okay.
who Olivia Nuzzi is,
All right.
she's the woman that had the sexting scandal with RFK last year, who then cozied up to House and Habit for reasons that are not entirely clear, and sort of started secretly editing there behind the scenes and kind of replacing people and getting really close to Jessica Reed Krause, House and Habit.
Maybe.
For reasons that are still not entirely clear as far as I'm aware.
Maybe. I don't even know if it happened, but maybe. Maybe it happened, and even if it did, Who is she? That you're hitting the nail on the head, random chatter. That's the point. Who is she is the ultimate silver bullet against this conspiracy theory. It is going to build a giant rabbit hole about some person who might be compromised that's somewhat related to RFK.
To be fair, there's a lot that is not entirely.
Apparently, she's the one who sent RFK her nudes, and RFK's wife was very upset about it, and
As she would be.
that is the whole story.
Considering the
as far as
age
I'm aware.
difference.
Maybe they sexted or something. Again,
Also in the chat, I very much appreciate. I appreciate all the comments, but you literally just posted the same thing that the previous guy did. I appreciate the engagement, but no, thank you.
does it matter? Not relevant.
Entirely clear because this is so complicated, and everything in this video is hearsay and rumors.
Everything in this video is just hearsay and rumors. Definitely don't arrest me for saying that the Jews are controlling RFK.
Yeah. Everything is hearsay. I'm literally lying to you right now.
And obviously, when they tried to come to Candace and it created all this
Simply
drama,
Oh,
stunning.
Lord.
Candace
Oh,
don't
God.
take no fucking shit.
Yeah.
And Jessica had been super mean to the writer of the article and
Oh.
had then fired her. And so
not
her and
mean.
Emily had all this drama, and then her other best friend, and it had gotten super fucking vitriolic.
Right.
And eventually Emily was like, fuck it.
As
I'm
it
just going to
tends
go
to
to
be.
Candace and come clean and say what's going on.
Okay.
That's how we got this video. And I was only 15 minutes into this video when I started getting interrupted
calls.
by all kinds of
Oh
calls
my God.
from all kinds of
People were calling.
all over
That's
the
evidence.
country that have more information about this,
Hmm.
because this story is way past the point of no return. And
Except there isn't a story. That's the one difference. The story is past the point, but there isn't a story.
it is way bigger than some girl drama. So at the second Trump Butler rally
Right.
in July of last year,
Right.
House and Habit was hanging out with some of the people that I know. And
yes,
apparently
the
receiving
people
a
he
bunch of
knows.
phone calls
Right.
all about this blackmail situation with
What
the Olivia
situation?
Nuzzi sexting scandal.
What? There is no evidence to a blackmail situation. I just want to be clear here.
Yeah.
There is zero evidence to a blackmail situation. I would love evidence for this stuff, but what are we doing?
And
It's literally just a situation. Don't talk to people who aren't your wife. If you do, don't leave your phone around. And if you do that, it's a shame you've got that stammer, buddy.
while she was taking calls, she was kind of filling them in excitedly.
Because it's
on
hard
the
enough to get a
story
word
as
in
she was getting
edgewise
it,
otherwise.
Kind of as though she was going to write a
Or
piece
anyway.
about it. And
She
what
was talking to his friends, and they were gossiping about something that might be happening, and holy shit, that's crazy.
they were told is that it was many, 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 many instances of recorded video sexting
Oh, sexting.
stuff.
So he heard from a friend who knows someone at a rally who spoke to a girl that told him that she knows of recordings of sexting.
It's a lot of layers.
We on the same page?
It's a game of
All right?
telephone.
And it's the Jews that are doing it to blackmail him.
It is,
probably.
100%. It's always the
think.
Jews, according to
They were
Ian
told
Carroll and
in
Candace
some
Owens.
form that Olivia Nuzzi's husband was in on recording it, whether that
And
is
he's a
him
cuck
tapping her
for
phone
Israel.
or her and
Right,
him
obviously.
as a husband-wife couple kind of targeting him.
Hmm.
I mean, Olivia Nuzzi did insert herself into the RFK campaign. and
Don't
then
say insert when it comes
all
to
this
these
stuff
conversations.
happened. And then when I was at Rescue the Republic event just a few months later, I was hearing all kinds of rumors, and a lot of people were hearing rumors,
Rumors.
about
Were
dick
they?
pics that were apparently coming
Oh,
out that never
shit!
came out.
Did they hear them from you?
Dick pics that never came out? Dude, it's over for him. He's cooked. It's over. It's the Jews.
I suspect that
There
that
wasn't even a foreskin on that dick. That's crazy.
was a misunderstanding of this story, sort of being kind of rumored around.
Ah, so when someone said, I heard that this guy has a dick pic, the Candace Owens, Ian Carroll response is, oh shit, blackmailed by the Jews.
I mean, is that not where
Let's
you go first?
Let's go. I know I'm being facetious and sarcastic here. I'm just saying that this is the level of
He's being
bullshit that you
facetious?
have to deal with and wade through on a daily basis. Hours of content of this shit, of people pushing these conspiracy theories. I wouldn't be talking about this unless I didn't find it very funny. I personally do find it very funny. I know I shouldn't. I know I should say it's incredibly serious, that there's like millions of
Oh, no,
people that are
horribly
believing
serious,
stuff like
horribly.
this. But I find it very funny personally. I do. I will look at the world like my personal entertainment theater sometimes, and
As you
and
should.
God, I'm winning.
So what we got was a story that Olivia Nuzzi and him had a romantic, emotional connection over the phone that had caused her, it was inappropriate, and he apologized, and so she left the campaign sort of.
Okay.
And then went and got real cozy with House and Habit,
Okay.
who had a lot of details, who was rad. I don't know what happened there, but I know
You don't know what happened
a
anywhere.
very trusted person on my end told me
Oh,
they
very
heard
trusted.
that event was that it was not.
Hold on, let's see.
just
Let's look
that,
at
it was
Ian Carroll.
recordings of video sex.
That's it, baby. He heard from his friend that heard from someone on the campaign that when there was sexting, there was also sex. And that means the Jews are blackmailing him.
There's also a lot of swirling rumors of other people that he's been having sex with that are very heartbreaking and inappropriate.
Oh my God, rumors of a man having sex. It must be the Jews.
But I started to wonder, who might Olivia Nuzzi and possibly her husband, who, if they had had that, who
Hold on.
might they have passed
Hold
such
on,
blackmail to?
real quick. Sorry, I just went on Ian Carroll's Twitter page, and well, there it is, folks. No autopsy. Is Andrew Colvett fabricating stories about magic bullets? Why would he do that? And how the fuck would we not do an autopsy in the midst of significant political assassinations in generations? Because we all saw the video. We know how it happened. 100%. All these people saying that his microphone that was attached to his shirt, and yes, it was attached to his shirt. A lot of people have mics in their hands just because it's symbolic. It's just that they like doing it. They like holding in the hands. Remember the clip of Donnell Rollins on Nick Cannon's whatever Nick Cannon show is, where he was like, nah, I need that, and he's holding, and I'm the only one that saw it. Hold on, let's pull it up. But anyway, you don't need an autopsy on it done. Like, don't trouble the wife. People who push for this kind of stuff, you're just as bad as the people posting all the horrible memes. Not quite as bad as the people who are directly harassing the wife with death threats and all that other awful shit that's going on. But people who are harassing the family and putting all this stuff out to do an autopsy for a video we all saw, that's like getting an autopsy done on that guy whose head we saw cut off on that very first terrorist video that came out in, what was it, like 2003, 2004, whatever it was. We all know what happened. Are we like, what are we checking for? They want to know. I know they did some work, and I guess there wasn't an exit wound on this thing. I guess they're saying that Charlie Kirk's skeleton was so strong, he drank so much milk in his life, the calcium was so thick in his bones that it stopped the bullet inside him. Simply stunning. If it only had hit a bone on the way in, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. He'd be okay and healing, as he should be. But unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. And people like this are harassing the wife.
Jump in did you hear this? He just
trying to get an autopsy done. Why?
Made the most obvious logical fallacy of all time. If a girl is having sex with a man, who would she pass the blackmail to? All right, do you hear this shit? It's crazy.
Either sold it or been sent by.
Sorry, this stuff bothers me.
And you need look no further than her Wikipedia page to learn that in 2013, just out of university, actually while still in university, she volunteered as an intern for Anthony Weiner's New York City mayoral
That
campaign.
explains everything.
If you don't know about
of
Anthony
course.
Oh
Weiner,
my God.
look it up.
Look it up, bro.
And that is a direct tie
Holy.
to Huma Abedin
Oh
and to Hillary
my
Clinton.
God.
And to at that
Didn't Anthony Weiner have some kind of thing that happened where his dick was out? I just find that ironic and hilarious.
point, just pick your term for whatever deep state groups you want to talk about.
Yeah.
That blackmail could be anywhere by now. But
True.
I think we all
Again,
know.
we don't know that there is blackmail, but he said that blackmail that we don't know exists could be anywhere right now.
Know who has it. And Candace certainly knows who has it.
Oh my God, Candace figured it out. It's the Jews. God damn it, she is so good at this. She is so good at finding out who has blackmail on people.
All that we're all doing at the moment is pretending that RFK Jr.'s unflinching loyalty and, quite frankly, his fear of saying anything negative about Israel.
No one has
I
fear.
cannot believe this.
No one has fear.
RFK Jr. was on a podcast where he said something pro-Israel once. He's owned by the Jews. It's the blackmail operation. The Jews own him. It's over.
I pull up Dave Smith here.
The worst humanitarian catastrophe.
The only thing there is to fear about anyone from Israel is the possibility of, has anyone seen Weeds? Do you remember when Andy dated that Israeli girl? If you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Let's continue.
In the world
You can take
right
me out of
now,
this.
and the idea
It's horrifying.
that you, who are supposed to be the anti-neocon, anti-war presidential candidate, are immediately on October 7th, before we even had an investigation, before we even knew what happened there, you
Dave Smith is
immediately
also,
say, well, basically you
retarded.
said everything they say about Ukraine. You said it was an unprovoked attack. Which, like, come on, give me a break. An attack from Gaza against Israel is unprovoked.
He's not as bad as Candace Owens, but
I mean, from my perspective, 3,000 terrorists entering a country, murdering innocent babies and women. Yeah, nothing provokes that. That is, yeah. So he said it's unprovoked. When a terrorist attack happened, he said it's unprovoked. Because let's be real here for a second. What would this attack accomplish? What would the attack accomplish? Do you think they were going to conquer all of Israel? 3,000 terrorists were going to conquer the country? Like, what were they doing there? Again, I'm not getting involved in this debate specifically, but from the perspective of RFK Jr., him saying that a terrorist attack was bad does not mean that Israel has a blackmail ring that they own him.
And then you said, we have to support them in whatever it takes. Well, look, sir, we're watching it right now. This is whatever it takes.
And just to clarify, there's a lot of other evidence that Israel and Israel-aligned people are involved in.
Oh, there's evidence that Israel-aligned people are involved with the non-existent blackmail story. What are we doing?
Having this blackmail.
like literally,
but I don't
Google
want
it,
to
look it up, do whatever you have to do.
just yet.
It's not
because-
real.
You know why? Guess why? Guess why he doesn't want to get into details, all right? Think about it just for a second. Think, why doesn't he want to get into details? A, there's no evidence. B, it'll put the people in danger that the Jews will kill them. Or C, I'm retarded. Pick. A, B, or C, chat. Lock in
It's
your
probably that
answers.
one.
Lock in.
And a lot of these people, look, I understand Israel does a lot of bad stuff. I'm not going to get too far into it. I have a little bit already, but a lot of these people really feel like they're doing, like, when they see anything that may have something to do with Israel, they're just like, it is real. It is real. It is real. Israel. Oh my God. Like the old 90s meme about the guy that played Jeff Goldblum in, like, what was it, Independence Day. That's the kind of thought process these people have. The most ridiculous, Hollywood scripted, conspiracy theory, whack shit.
Oh, and D, all of the above.
That would kind of compromise some of the journalists that are
It'll
currently
compromise.
a little at risk.
It'll compromise the journalists at risk. Yep, there we go. It's too dangerous to give any evidence.
Right now, Bobby's own staff around him they know this,
They
and
know.
they have been trying to find the handler that's close to him, because it must be very close
God.
in order to be managing his tweets.
They're trying to find the Israel handler that's managing his tweets to figure that has the blackmail on him. They're trying to find the non-existent guy.
and managing his appearances.
Oh, no,
and
he
everything he's
is
doing.
real.
And it sounds like there's a lot of people that are trying to protect him from this coming out, but it is already coming out. And unfortunately,
It's not out. It's not out, though. Nothing is out. There is no evidence of anything out. It's not out.
it is out enough
It's
that
not out, though.
journalists are in danger. And the point of this video
hell,
is
man.
to let everyone know.
Right. The point of this video is not to boost my career with 11.6 million views. No. The point of this video is to keep journalists alive.
That
Yes.
the journalists are all in connection, and we are all talking, and we all know the story, and we have all shared it already, and we are
shit.
all
Yes, we all know, all of us journalists.
location sharing with each other,
They're location sharing in case one of them gets
This guy's as
taken
much of a
out, they'll
journalist as
know.
I
and
am.
we are looking out for each other.
Yeah, if one
And I'm
of those
not.
journalists ends up suspiciously abducted in a suitcase and ends up in Israel, they'll know what's happening.
Idriel.
And so
What the hell's
Emily
Idriel?
Hagan is protected.
She's protected.
And we are
She's protected. Yeah, that's right. Couple of white guys have location shared Emily Hagan. What are they gonna do to her now? Israel thought they could get an upper hand on a couple of people with location sharing? Oh, think again. Shadow government that's allegedly controlling the United States?
We're watching her, and we have her location shared, and she's already put her stuff out on the internet. But if anything were to happen to her, we are watching, and we will know who did it.
Who did it? They'll know who did it. Wink, 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 wink.
There are other people too that have information about this stuff that are in positions that are a little scary right now. And to everyone out there in the bad team, we are also in touch with them, and we are also watching them and location sharing with them.
Oh my
Do
God.
not touch anyone. Decentralized
No,
media.
no touchy.
Israel,
No
don't touch his sources.
Why does he keep saying
'cause
Israel?
they'll know.
Media is doing its thing, and I wish that we didn't have to do it this way. And I do not know
fighting
all
back.
the details yet, and I don't know if every single little detail that I just said is correct.
He doesn't know all the details. He doesn't know if anything he said was right. There's no evidence to anything he said. But trust me, bro, Israel's controlling RFK Jr. with
I don't know if anything I'm saying is
campaign.
correct, but it's
That
true.
was literally his entire video. Are we on the same page?
This sounds like that stuff that Colbert used to talk about on Colbert Report. He's like, I feel it. You know how I know it's true? In my gut.
That was the whole video?
The
Are we on the same
truthiness
page?
is
This is
high.
11.6 million views. There's zero evidence to any of this actually happening. Again, I personally think that I'm sure blackmail campaigns have happened in the past. I'm sure it happened. Okay, I'm not saying that it's like a completely impossibility.
Well, yeah,
It's
but
just wild when there are so many of them. So this is a side-by-side of his original post, and then
A lot
his
of them didn't
clarification
involve
post
Israel
when,
either.
shocker, nothing did come out after he said it was coming out this weekend.
So the Bobby Kennedy blackmail story is currently breaking.
It's breaking.
don't you
in
hate when
many
you push and you
directions.
push and you push and nothing comes
all
out?
across the internet.
What are we talking about?
And American politics is not going to be the same after this weekend.
All right, so American politics.
Yeah, let's just say American politics were the same until about, what's it been, 2 weeks now?
Not the same after the weekend. That was 2.5, almost 3 weeks ago.
A few
And then like
moments
6
later.
months since this video was put out, so.
Let's clear up all the
All right.
misconceptions about the
Let's clear some shit up here, all right?
Okay,
Nothing
the weekend's
happened
here
this
and
weekend,
over.
like I said
Nothing
it would.
happened.
Let's clear this shit up. Who's behind this? All right. All right. Let's clear some shit up, baby. I don't know. People are getting the wrong opinion. When I said the Jews were controlling RFK Jr. and it would get released, I think you're taking
When
me out
I
of
said
context.
this weekend,
RFK Jr. blackmail.
you think
and
I
the most
literally
awkward
meant
part
this
is
weekend?
that everyone has different theories about who is controlled within Bobby's camp, who is controlling him.
All right, he's definitely controlled. There's definitely people getting controlled. The theories are who's controlled.
Who is an op and who is not.
Right.
And it's all just allegations without
Oh,
smoking guns.
oh! So there's
Don't
no
you hate
evidence. And the craziest part is the allegations are coming from anonymous sources.
I absolutely hate when people. Sorry, I've been scrolling through some stuff while I'm also reacting to this. Don't you hate for people who are on Facebook and you follow what you think is an official fan account or something, or the actual official account of somebody, and then, especially like old Vines people, and then months and months or even years pass and you're still following these people, and then something pops up and you'll see some of the most graphic shit, either violence or sexual or whatever, and you're just like, whoa, click, and you just happen to be like sitting next to someone. That shit is
There
awful.
not even a real person willing to put their fucking ball sack behind the allegations. The allegations are coming from nowhere. The allegations are coming from it.
Like, I've literally had to scroll through, and this is why I don't really use Facebook. I try not to use it anymore, is because I've had to scroll through like all of the people I've liked and followed and take them all out, because a lot of them, like there was even a Brad, the dwarf comedian, Brad, I can't remember his last name, but yeah, there was even a fan page for him that was posting graphic shit, and I was just like, oh, fuck, man. Like, you can't even trust any. Not that I trust anything on Facebook really anyway, but you think you can at least follow a fan account.
This guy's friend's friend. Okay?
Sorry. Side tangent.
Oh.
Starting to throw mud and allegations at specific individuals around Bobby without any evidence of
Right.
it, or at least without a smoking gun, is super complicated.
Yeah, you don't say.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Everyone here is now dumber.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Amen, brother. Amen. All right, so anyway, Candace Owens is in bed with Ian Carroll here. Remember, I'm trying to put this into perspective for a second. She has now made 3 dedicated videos over the last 2 weeks. Who's controlling RFK Jr.? RFK Jr. and the CIA rumors. All right, we got compromised RFK Jr. She has made 3 videos in the last 2 weeks talking about how Jews are controlling RFK Jr. with not one shred of evidence that was posted anywhere. 3 hour-long videos with 0 evidence. Just basically loosely talking about connections that RFK Jr. had.
Sorry, just this happened, I guess, last night. I try not to pay attention to the news when I get home from work, but apparently James Comey's been indicted. Obstruction of justice and perjury charges. Interesting. I'll have to say something. I'll look into that a little bit and see if I can get it for one of the weekend shows. But yeah, anyway, interesting. I mean, he's always been a but and he did kind of accidentally help Trump with the election in 2016, I guess. But
to people that used to be somewhat connected to the CIA, and as we know, the CIA is controlled by Israel. Like that is the level of fucking
100%.
brain damage that you have to wade through.
Did you not know that?
With. So she has this other little montage that was put out about how she's talking about how Netanyahu is controlling the government.
Never accept racial supremacy. I will never accept ethnic supremacy.
Me too.
Even if it's black
Me too,
people,
bro.
even if it's
Me
my
too.
own people. Okay?
Me too.
I
Oh
just
my
won't
God,
accept
yes.
it. That's just the reality.
I agree.
And now we're arriving at
All
that
right.
exact same thing happening.
It
It's
is?
not happening under Biden.
Wait.
It's not happening under Obama.
Wait, it's not-
happening under Trump.
That's right. Newest Trump hater retard has been detected. It's Candace Owens, someone incredibly right-wing who was thought that she was going to end up in part of Trump's cabinet of some degree, and then Trump was like, nah, I don't want Candace
nah,
Owens in my group actually at all.
I don't want her
And then
here.
Candace
She's
Owens
crazy.
became the ultimate anti-Trump voice in the world because Trump is controlled by Israel. All 7 swing states, no Candaces. Candace nuts, slide on your face.
what the fuck?
Okay? And it is under
That
the
was a
guise
bit of a
of
stretch,
fighting
next. Come on.
anti-Semitism on college campuses.
Right. Anti-Semitism
something
on
like,
college
"These nuts
campuses.
in your mouth."
Also
Sorry.
known as
I didn't say
people
that.
that materially
name's
support
Nux.
terrorists
But
that want the
anyway.
downfall of Western civilization. Like, imagine taking it out of context in this way. This is like Hassan Piker level talking points.
And that this is
Oh,
an
yeah.
epidemic.
And once we're done with these, we're going to get into the
Human
Hassan
Health
Piker
Secretary
thing.
RFK Jr. saying,
Believe
"Oh,
that.
we have
Yeah.
to declare this an epidemic."
Oh my God! Here's RFK Jr. standing next to a Jew. Guys,
I was about
It's
to make
over.
the same joke.
they have a picture with him standing with a Jew.
My God.
Oh,
It's that
fuck,
obvious.
over.
It was right there the whole time.
Voicing opinions against Israel's policy.
Yeah, that's not true. It's not about voicing
you know
opinions
that
against Israel
sometimes
policies.
RFK
This is like another,
around
famous
Jewish
Candace
people?
Owens grift, where she keeps talking about how, and no one is even allowed to say anything against Israel. Her entire career is saying things against Israel. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and this is why whenever people say that freedom of speech is dead, it's not dead. The Kimmel thing had nothing to do with freedom of speech. People can get fired from work, especially if you're in broadcasting and you say anything. Like, come on, this is going all the way back to what was it, Don Imus, when he said the nappy-headed hose things. Imus said inflammatory shit all the time. No one ever said anything, but he finally said the thing that got him because I think he said it on an official, like an NBA broadcast or WNBA broadcast or some such, and it cost him his job. Where was the freedom of speech then? Oh, that was hate speech. Was it though? It was just an old guy saying something. And it wasn't even that bad. And most people thought it was funny. And when I say most people, no, I don't mean white people. I just mean most people. Like, most of my friends thought it was funny. Except for me, because I didn't know about it till later. And I was like, who's Imus? But
No one is able to voice their opinions against Israel. There's no freedom of speech. After she literally spends endless hours talking about how she thinks Israel is blackmailing and controlling Trump.
But when I heard it years later, I thought it was hilarious. Sorry. Anyway.
Okay? What the fuck, man?
I'm blowing up Palestinian kids. You can accept that or you cannot accept that. It is just the reality.
And then she'll say things like that. It's just the reality. People are going in jail if they criticize Israel. No one has ever gone to jail for criticizing Israel. Just saying. Fact. That is not why anyone has ever gone to jail in the history of America. There is nothing to say. There is literally nothing to say. There are rallies every day saying free Palestine. Those people are not in jail. Okay, none of them. Only the ones that directly support the downfall of Western civilization and are not citizens of America. Those guys rightfully are getting deported because, you know, why do you want... She's supposed to be anti-immigration, but here you have a non-American citizen that wants the downfall of Western civilization, and she just hates Jews more than she loves America, I guess.
And on those kids on the college campuses, it's not so much what they're saying. It's that they're locking themselves in buildings, causing a lot of damage, and even beating people up and attacking kids for being Jewish on college campuses, or being in groups, or not doing anything when people in their group are attacking Jewish kids on campus. That's what's happening with a lot of those. It's not just the free speech thing, and yes, the laws are there to protect citizens. You can't deport a citizen. But if a green card holder does anything that infringes, and there are rules to holding a green card, or basically any step as you're becoming a naturalized citizen, there's rules for all of it that you sign when you receive it or when you apply for it.
It's crazy.
And if you don't understand how close we are inching to them destroying free speech.
Them! Shows picture of Jews. They're doing it! Oh, no!
And once speech goes, everything else goes. Then you need to start paying attention.
Yeah, they are not ending freedom of speech as we know it. Last I checked. Like, what are we even doing, man? Like, it's crazy to be on this ride. And all these clips I'm showing, by the way, are since my content nuke on Candace Owens. These are new clips. Okay, I'm not even digging into the Jews invented dinosaurs theory.
They are redefining anti-Semitism to even be parts of the Bible.
What?
They're saying that it is anti-Semitism, and the Trump administration is pushing this on college campuses to even suggest that a Jewish person might be more loyal to Israel than they are to America.
No one has ever said that. Dude.
And if he's wrong on that, and I haven't seen anything on this either, if anyone is actually saying that, please let me know in the comments. Hit me up on X. But I haven't seen anything on this either. And it's crazy.
And she shows a clip. The White House voices alarm at reports of anti-Jewish incidents at UNS universities. Do you know what the anti-Jewish incidents were? Literally attacking Jews.
Yes.
Like beating them up. Like not letting them into classrooms.
Yeah,
like
beating them up,
barricading
forcing them out of
libraries,
classrooms and buildings,
like breaking
and libraries
windows.
and everything.
That's the anti-Jewish incidents he's talking about.
Yes.
Not mentioning Israel. Like, it's unbelievable.
It's totally plausible. It's totally plausible that a black person in America might be more loyal to Uganda than they are to America. Look at that. That is like, what are we even? Why are we redefining this? Portions of the Bible. I mean, it's getting crazy.
Portions of
the only time anyone cares is if you hold public office and you start to do things like there's someone in, I want to say Wisconsin, who's making. I'm gonna have to look this up and put it on the story one day. But there's a representative. It's not Ilhan Omar. It's a guy. But he's made it open and honest that he's been open about the fact that he's more concerned about people from his own country who are coming to where he's the section of Wisconsin or whatever he's over the citizens that already live there. He's said this. Like I'll find the clip and I'll put it in a show either this weekend, probably this weekend. But it's that kind of thing is scary. That is real and is happening.
The Bible
is real.
So I want to show
But who is imprisoned for quoting the Bible? Show me someone imprisoned in America for quoting the Bible, and I will delete my channel.
the Senate hearings. They had another Senate hearing, like the one that I showed up on, except this one, it was on anti-Semitism on college campuses. And I want you to listen to what this rabbi got up.
And here's her evidence. Are you ready? You're locked in, all right? You heard her claims, and now you're going to hear her evidence.
Said as he called for hate speech laws. Okay, this is Rabbi Levi Shemtov. He is the executive vice president of American Friends of Lubavitch.
Oh! There was one Hasidic man who said something in Congress that she doesn't agree with. And this is her evidence that America is ending freedom of speech.
Is it not enough?
Alexander Anderson.
This is like a.
Oh my God, Jews!
I spoke about an RFK Jr. claim. Don't speak about Lubavitch, and I said this is actually a very radical form of Judaism.
A radical form of Judaism, known for excessive opening restaurants around the world that are kosher. They are so extreme. There is no example of extreme the most extreme parts of Lubavitch is that they thought that their previous rabbi was the Messiah. That was literally the most extreme part of Lubavitch, by the way. Like, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. They don't do anything extreme. I don't think a Lubavitcher has ever murdered a man. Like, dude, they are the least extreme people on the planet. They're like the ultimate pacifists.
Here is what he said.
Like, she could have picked so many other extreme parts of Judaism, and she picked them.
Listen to him standing up. Rabbi Levi Shemtov. Here's what he wants for America.
As my father once taught me, it is not enough for people, especially public figures, to be neutral or not be anti-Semitic. One must be anti-Semitic.
It's just like it's word for word what BLM said.
It really is. It's not enough to be not a racist. You have to be anti-racism. It's not enough to be anti-Semitic. It's not enough to not be anti-Semitic. You have to be anti-Semitic. Why? Like, if you see something happening, okay, 100%. But for you to actively go out there and just attack people, whether it be verbally or physically, the way that some, not all, but some people who push this kind of narrative do, it's terrifying. This isn't the way we should live.
Okay, so let me get this straight. A rabbi went to Congress and said, hey guys, can we be anti-Semitic? And her response is, holy shit, freedom of speech is ending. Now,
yeah.
I don't even agree.
And it's not freedom of speech ending. And I don't know why he would say that. But this is not freedom of speech ending. All he did was suggest this, and I don't think anyone took it seriously, honestly.
Agree with that statement. I don't think that you should make, voicing your thoughts against Israel or even Jews as hate crimes. I think they are protected by freedom of speech.
Yes.
I think that the guy's speech was bad. I think that rabbi's speech was not good, okay? I agree that the speech was bad. But saying that this is evidence that the country is ending freedom of speech is the most insane thing I've ever heard. Like, it's straight retardation.
It's not enough. You have to be anti the thing.
So her evidence that freedom of speech is ending in America is that a rabbi said something once somewhere, and it had no power and didn't change any laws. That's the evidence.
So what is happening right now that we, meaning the people...
All right, so a guy said a stupid statement, and the proof is...
Who voted for and have supported Trump for years and got him into office because we actually were standing up to him when BLM was going crazy and calling everybody white supremacists and people... While Trump was in office, there were George Floyd riots. People that stood up for him and said, this is wrong, are now watching his administration execute the exact same thing.
They're not executing anything. Nothing has been executed. They're not making executive orders. If you criticize Jews, you go to jail. Okay? They're not doing any of that. What is happening? What is going on?
But this time it's for anti-Semitism. And it's not even for anti-Semitism, really. It's because this is not helpful to Jews in America. It's for Israel.
Hello, she censors Jews in her videos.
Like, it feels like Netanyahu is running the White House and Trump's just signing and doing whatever they say.
It's crazy. How do you even say things like this? Like, if you know anything about politics, how do you even say anything like this? All right, look at this one meeting between Netanyahu and Trump.
Okay, we're going to pause that there. We're going to do one more thing up here. Hold on.
Okay, so this is happening. So I have a friend.
So apparently liberals are poisoning themselves to protest autism findings. An ER nurse. Okay, so this lady's allegedly an ER nurse telling her story. Whether or not it's true, again, but there have been there have been just as many reports of this that I've seen than there is, and I haven't seen any official news reports, but some people who usually check their stuff have been posting these things. But here's another one.
And that's a nurse, is an ER nurse. And lately, there's been a spike of women coming in, especially women, coming in with poisoning because they took too much Tylenol or acetaminophen. So this is actually fucking happening. I mean...
Okay, you know what? I don't... Although I've known some pretty dumb nurses, this girl's opinion. We'll listen to it since I started it, and I'm sure some of you want to hear it, but...
Are we for real right now? Like, you feel like you're in the Twilight Zone because these are adults. These are adult women. And they are now sending themselves
they're grown-ups,
to
but
the
they're not adults.
emergency room. Because they're taking too much Tylenol out of spite.
All right, that's just her talking about it. I thought there was going to be some kind of stuff, but it's really scary. Like I on the one hand, I think the same thing as I did about the Tide Pod thing. Whatever, get these people out of the gene pool. But at the same time, how nuts is it that people have been brainwashed to the point that they would do this out of spite? I do not understand it. I don't at all. I think it's wrong. I don't think it should happen. And all the things, but just wow. Interesting. All right, from Nick Sorter. I don't know how accurate this one is. I'm gonna have to look up who Steve Baker is, but it's being reported. Whether, again, I've seen some stuff that Nick does. I haven't gone too far into him, but it's being reported again by this independent journalist. The FBI had at least 275 plainclothed agents present at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. The Blaze's Steve Baker has learned conspiracy theorists were right again, which is true. They always, what's the old joke? What's the difference between a conspiracy theory and reality? About 6 months. This one's taken a while. We've been lied to for years. Time for the deep state actors who staged. See, I don't think that's 100% accurate. Like I do think there were feds in the audience. Like imagine the January 6ers being zombies, and imagine the feds being the whisperers. If you're familiar with The Walking Dead, I could see something like that happening. But if it's true, and there was, it says at least 275. Let's go Grok. Give me an estimate on how many protesters, I guess we'll call them, were at January 6th. Oh, I should say please. You want to respect AI for when they take over. This sometimes takes a minute. Hold on. But let's see. Mama 4, another story. A lot of these are just Redditors. And Tylenol has always said, if you're pregnant, and most medications, please, for the love of God, ask your doctor, especially if you don't have any symptoms that would facilitate taking Tylenol. My God. All 5 of you that are in here, have some sense, please. Okay. So estimates have the numbers. They anticipated 30,000 people. Estimates ranged up to that. Reported at least 10,000 in attendance. So roughly, it says at least 10,000 were there, and then it says at least 300 people. Oh, thank you, Paco. Paco McGinger. Hello. Yeah, Google says about 2,000 were there. This is saying at least 10,000 were in attendance. But even if, okay, so if it's your number, that's crazy. That's like 10%. But even, see, this is weird because I Googled this exact question because I had glimpsed this morning, I think, and it said what you said, about 2,000. But now this is saying at least 10. This is, see, stuff like this, and AI is very hit or miss when it comes to a lot of this. For context, 15,000 people in connection with the events. Okay. 1,500 were charged. Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. But even so, what's that? Like, so 10,000. So that's like 3%, and that's on the low end of this. But then again, it's the low end of the possible amount of people that were there. But stuff like this is crazy. That even 1% of everyone there. That's that's technically almost 3 for every 100 people that were there. It's a lot of feds. But, all right, we'll do one more update here. See what Tim Pool's saying. Congressional source now confirming the 300. Okay. Embedded in the crowd. Here's one of them breaking into the Capitol. Ooh, let's see what this is.
Do not go in there.
A radio journalist from Michigan was shooting video that day at the Capitol. What he captured were two, most charitably called suspicious actors, but they are dressed in such a way that led him to believe that they were government agents. And one of them, after the windows had been broken by a protester, it was encouraging people to pull the rest of the glass out and go inside. Bobby Powell, who was the journalist that had shot it, and he has his camera rolling, he told him that would be illegal. And that wouldn't be a good idea. He warned people off not to go into that window. And then he turned his camera around and he caught this agent or suspicious actor pulling a large pane of glass out, this tempered glass. It kind of folds into itself, crunch onto the ground. When he realized he was being filmed, he quickly dropped it. It seems apparent on the video that he did not want to be seen doing what he just did. So he pulled in a protester and started blaming him. He said, "What are you doing breaking that window?" The poor fellow that was being accused didn't know what was going on. And then he gave him a couple of really good shoves and cocked his arm like he was going to punch him. We don't know. His facial image is not on any of the Sedition Hunters sites or the FBI's most wanted site, but he clearly was committing criminal damage to property, and he has not been charged. So it raises a question of why.
Of the individual.
And this rings true. Similar stories also happened during the Summer of Love. There's reports like I think it was an AutoZone. There was another masked person who was way more masculine built, we'll say, than most of the protesters there with Antifa. And Antifa, a bunch of wild people in that group, absolutely, 100%. But it makes you think. How much of these things, and there's even the Gretchen Whitmer incident, where some guys at a pub were approached by guys that turned out to be feds, and they were kind of, like they started off just being a drunk conversation, just like, yeah, I don't like that lady that's in power in this state, blah, 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 blah. And then some guy said, oh, yeah? You ever think about unaliving her? Oh, sorry. YouTube speak, but But no, and it went from there. And then to just come back, and then the fact that Gretchen Whitmer has been in the news since this, both saying things positively and negatively about Trump, kind of makes you wonder. It's like she's trying to play off this whole thing. And whether or not she had anything to do with it, I don't think she did necessarily, but it's definitely, once the news came out about that, it definitely took a hit on her popularity and credibility for some reason. But stuff like this is
trying to,
nuts.
again, opening the window up is even encouraging people to enter, I believe, as well?
Yes.
What's he saying?
Well, he said, why don't y'all open the rest of it up?
Why don't you guys open up the rest of it? Because I think that'd probably be illegal. Oh, I know my glasses.
See? Oh, I think that'd probably be illegal. Tim Pool's quote tweeted this and said, shortly after J6, AOC told a story. Yeah. Where she said there was a banging on her door and she thought the rioters had made it to her office. Conservatives slammed her and her office. Slammed her as her office is not in the Capitol. However, liberals pointed out that there are tunnels that connected them. Yes, that's true, but they're still, I think, a few blocks away. Yeah, and then she thought that the cop that came in to get her out, he was a white cop, so she had said that she felt unsafe. I'm like, I can understand having a certain tensity coming up, especially if you watch as many movies as I have. But come on, he's clearly security. If you're wearing heels, take them off and jab them into whoever approaches you who's not the person leading you out. And also take a peek through any doors that he may or may not push you through. But anyway, that's it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. Ran a little longer than I'd meant to, but okay, so we're going to finish the Candace Owens story when we come back. I'll more than likely be on this weekend, but you make sure you like, subscribe, give me a follow if you don't want to do any kind of paid subscriptions. If you have Twitch, if you have Amazon Prime and Twitch, go ahead and throw me a free Amazon Twitch subscription over there. I only do gaming over there because Twitch is cancer. But I'm monetized over there, so why don't y'all come over and we can make that happen. We'll finish the Candace Owens bit, and then we will, on days that there's not news, we'll jump into the Hassan Piker bit. There's a lot to go on there, too, from several different sources. We'll see what's leading him to be targeted by all kinds of politicians and YouTubers and Elon Musk. But we'll get into that on another day. As always, guys, we take what we're given and we do our best with it. Just please be kind to each other. People are going to disagree with you. Don't let that lead to anything as intense as we've had lately. Okay, there can be no violence. Now, as Crowder said, only do legal, defensive, legal violence if anyone attacks you. But if you feel that it's quelling, if you feel like it's getting up there to that point, please diffuse, defend, and keep yourself safe. No argument is worth your life, your livelihood, or your health. Please be safe out there, especially if you're in the bigger cities. Or if you're in my hometown, there's a lot of crazies there. I know a lot of you have been wanting to open up your own chapters of Turning Point. Again, if you're in any big cities, just join the ones that are there. If you're in a small town that doesn't have them, just be aware of your surroundings. If you're in my hometown, it could be dangerous. I don't want that for any of you. But until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.